I'm Tanis Leonhardi. This is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and this is an athletic performance contextualization. Here I talk through the Kyle Chalmers 200-meter freestyle race at the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. Time of 1 minute and 45.56 seconds in the final on Friday, 6 April 2018. With his time, he achieved first place. I provide my take/perspective on his performance and contextualize it in terms of it being one of the first swimming races I followed at/near the time of it happening of my own initiative after I stopped competing in swimming in 2010. I have a snack of pimiento, stuffed green olives, dill pickles, and black olives as I talk through the race/contextualization. Okay. So here they are. Green pimiento stuffed, then I got dill pickle and black olive. And so I got 3 of them. So pickles, as in like more than one pickle, plural. That's where that comes from. This is like a lima bean, green olive. This one's missing the pimiento though. But at least 2 are green, are pimiento stuff. Okay, so this was actually, so he went fast and he won the gold medal in the 200-meter freestyle back on 6 April 2018. I'm filming this Wednesday, 31 January 2024, so it took me a little while to get to here. But I was in graduate school at the University of California, Berkeley, in a Ph.D. program for geophysics, mineral physics more specifically. And one of the pieces of advice I had received before going to Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, was I should have a hobby, which ended up being kind of a mishmash of like adventuring, trying to figure out how to follow sports, and cooking. And so trying to figure out how to follow sports, I mean, I used to be that person where like people would be like, do you watch swimming? And I'd be like, no, I compete. And after that, so I competed 1999 to 2010, so 12 years, 12 seasons. And then people would be like, do you keep up with it all? And I'm like, no. It was 12 years of my life. I don't think so. And so eventually I was like, well, I don't know. I still run. I don't still swim. And running is the one I might want to pursue. But running itself is not necessarily something I would watch. So maybe I should look at like football. So I was looking at like Hungarian football and stuff. And this is actually one of the first races that I tuned into, and choosing it for this was like, I actually remember tuning into this and being like, who am I gonna pick to follow for my first time ever, technically. If we want to say everybody's kind of coerced. If you're competing swimming, you kind of get to whether you want to or not stay up to date on swimming kind of thing. So in that case, like consensual following, this was it, you guys. This was that race for me. He popped my cherry. Kyle Chalmers did. I was like, I got so embarrassed. I was like, he's my cherry. Or am I his cherry? Do I get to be his cherry? I love the name Chalmers. And I didn't even, and then I later watched the footage of the race and stuff, but I was like, I just want to marry you. There we go. I was like, from a moment, you had me at 1 minute, 45.56 seconds. And I actually chose the Commonwealth Games as the first competition because I was tuned in about that time. But also, I lived in South Africa, and this was the positivity towards the Commonwealth Games actually was far superior to the positivity about the Olympic Games. Fact, per my lived experience. So I was like, well, the Olympic Games might get the most press and hoopla and stuff, but if we're going with positive image, in my life experience, the Commonwealth Games trump the Olympic Games. That was when I was living in South Africa. I got a new appreciation for that. So I liked he was Australian. I really loved that he achieved first place on his home I don't know if it's his home country. He might be Scottish. I was like, with that name, he has to be Scottish. And I thought that too. I was like, I know you were Scottish. Which turns out I went to Scotland in 2019, and one of the first places that I collided with, so to speak, was a Chalmers Center. And I was like, well, how's that for positive affirmation that I got the surname right? Okay. Anyway, and so, yeah. So it was cool to see him defend his home country, so to speak, with that large of scale of competition. There has not been, no, there was the 1996 Summer Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sorry, I'm living in the United States of America, so it's like, is there something like that? I guess. But it's not as positive as the Commonwealth Games, so no, that disqualifies it. That'd be like, what, the Pan American Games being held on American soil or something? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not done with my snack. Is there anything else? I remembered his name, which for a first go around, pretty incredible. I stuck with it. So there was a Kyle in my childhood who was physical assaulted me and bullied me when I was in elementary school. Physical assault, like he bit me without my consent, you know, like, which is like, I don't, it's assault, but it's like that's how and it like was traumatizing and stuff, but like I don't know, it's kind of a strong word for, but anyway, so I was like, I might be able to remember the name, and he might help me recover or work through my trauma related to that bully and guy who physically and verbally berated me. That's more fitting and feel, if nothing else. And I've actually stuck with him. Like, he's one of the people I have written and published about on Wikipedia a lot. Like, I think I've done over 300 edits on his article. I shouldn't bet that. Anyway, yeah, he's a joy. I still follow his career. It's a big cherry popping. Has a lasting legacy. It was the cherry popping. I followed it. I still follow him. Kyle Chalmers. Marry me. Tanis Leonhardi. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. You can be on my channel. I want you here. Or wherever we may be. I want to be on your channel. We should have a shared channel. Well, not we should. If you want, my darling. You can be the owner of that channel. And I can be your slave. But not like in a bad way. Like in a, we're going to stigmatize that word, slave, to mean something good. I don't even know what that means. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, happy day and time of viewing to you whenever you're viewing this, and happy place viewing this wherever you're viewing this from.